Man, I love the 4th of July. I'm thankful that you're here worshiping with us, that you guys are joining us online, worshiping together. Man, I love America. I love this symbol of America. I'm a huge fan of red, white, and blue. It's a great colorway. You guys know what I'm talking about? And it's one of these things that it's great. And, if you've ever lived abroad, you really start to love America in a different way. So as we lived abroad, it's interesting because people always lead with, oh, where are you from? That's the first thing. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity looks like. It's what country you're from. So we would reference someone and we would say, oh, James is from America. And we would say it like that. So we had all these friends from different countries and we'd always reference them by where they were from first. So it's a weird thing because when you live outside of here, they reference you by here. And that's a very interesting idea. And so you have more of a greater understanding of your nationality and of America because you become a representation of America. So that person maybe has never ever been to America. But guess what? America came to them in the form of you. So they're looking at you like, what's America like? How do you act? You guys get what I'm saying? And at the same time, when you're gone away from America, you love all the things America and you miss them, even when you don't celebrate them when you live here. Some people really don't care about the 4th. They're like, oh, it's cool. You go to a barbecue or whatever. Man, I love the 4th of July. What's not to like? Meat, you got fireworks. It's great. I love it. And man, we were living in Mexico when I was just done with university, and we were there running teams and doing a church planting thing back when I was in my early 20s. And the only thing that was going on, it was the 4th of July. We ran teams all day. We get back to our apartment, my buddy Tim and I, he's from Chicago, and both of us love the 4th of July. And outside, they had shut down the road out in our village, out in our area of the city of Mazatlan. And they were doing this massive concert with this huge mariachi band. I mean, it's like a famous, famous one in Mexico. And so it's cranked up to 11. Man, the speakers are blaring. It was amazing. I love that music. But it's definitely not America. You get what I'm saying? At least not the version of the Star Spangled Banner or something. And they're rocking, man. And I was like, this is pretty great. But there's no fireworks. There's no America. And it was kind of it was my first go over, outside of the country on a big holiday. And you get a little bit sensitive about it. And then suddenly at the end of their set, they're like, son hombre muy honrado que me gusta lo mejor. You're like, yeah. And then they do fireworks go off. And I was like, America. It hit me in a different way. Well, then, Celeste and I and our kids, man, we grew up where we were away all the time for all the holidays because we lived abroad in Europe and then the Middle East. We were traveling through Asia 3 years ago, and it happened to be in Indonesia on the 4th of July. And I don't know if you guys ever heard this place called Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. You guys ever seen this thing? It's pretty amazing. All these people line up. I had to cut this picture because this gentleman's not wearing pants. And so they're ready to go, but it's all about eating as many hot dogs as they can in the shortest amount of time. And it's gross, but it's very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. But what I loved about it is that, that's pretty America, man. Hot dog, lemonade. And we're just like, man, that's so cool. We're on the 4th of July walking around Indonesia. And, it's you're just with the kids out taking pictures and stuff. You guys have the next one. And we're taking some photos, just having a good time. And we're like, man, what are we going to do today? Because this, how can we really celebrate today? We're like, well, let's go to there's a really big mall that's there at the end of the Petronas Towers. And we're like, oh, let's go in the mall and see what's over there. We go in the mall in the food court, and we found a Nathan's hot dog place in the food court. And we got to have the hot dog, we had the chili, the fries, the lemonade. And we were like, America! In Indonesia! We're really far away from America. But it was cool because it's funny how those little things mean something to you in a significant way when they really don't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the freedom, it's not the sacrifice, it's not the place and the people, but it means something because it becomes an icon of those things. So when I think about America, I think about a lot of great things. I think about spending time with my family because my family's from America and they look like this. And so when we were on, this is from 4th of July, 2 years ago. And so we had a good time, man, just being silly and being fun. I think about America, when I live abroad, I stopped wearing baseball hats, and I wear baseball caps all the time. I have a whole stack of them. I love them. But I couldn't wear them because right away people knew I was American. They'd be like, oh, he's American because they wear a baseball cap. Because, man, I love taking my kid to baseball. I've taken my kid to baseball since he was tiny. And I taught him how to cheer against the other team. You guys know what I'm talking about? I mean, America. You guys didn't like that one. Okay, it's okay. You know, take him to basketball. Like, that's American. It's very American. And we finally made it to the finals. We're going to win. It's going to be awesome. I can't get tickets. I need Jesus. Okay. I think about hanging out, like, you know, with my friends like Caleb like this and going out in the desert and blowing stuff up. It's America. You know what I mean? But I lived in Europe, and, you know, we're from the Southwest. It's totally different, obviously, East Coast or California or something. I get that. But I grew up here. Like, I'm a desert rat. Like, you know, we just grew up hunting, fishing, all that stuff, going out shooting in the desert when there was no houses there. And so it was just like life. And I would explain this to my friends in Europe, and they're like, what? They're like, you have a gun? I'm like, no, I don't have a gun. I got a whole heap of guns. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, it's totally legal. They're registered to me. They're like, how? How is this possible? I was like, because they didn't let them take them away from us. But that's the only thing. I'm gonna digress. But here's the thing. You know, America is more than a place. America is more than just like, you think about the map of like just continent, obviously Alaska and Hawaii. But it's more than a place because America is actually an idea. And the idea is freedom. And it's the freedom to worship. It's the freedom to be free. It's this idea of this man on the mountaintop. It's like where you're standing completely free. You can choose to do whatever. That is an amazing idea. That's an amazing concept. And people for all of these decades and even hundreds of years have sacrificed to give that opportunity to the next generation. And that's my heart and my hope that we don't lose it before it goes to the next. See, that's what America means to me. And the reason it means that is because I've lived other places where that is not the case. And that you do have to listen to the king/president/whoever the person is. Because they have that kind of control on your local life. And man, the Lord help us that we live in freedom. But we do so with the love of Christ.